I'm Charlaine Martin from Be Totally Fit for Life. I thought I'd come and talk to you today on my Happy Friday segment a little bit about fibromyalgia. May 12th was, I believe, Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. I don't know if you know this, but there are an awful lot of people with it. Over 10 million people have been diagnosed with it in the U.S. 3 to 6% of the world's population has been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. It happens mostly in women, ages 20 to 50, but it also occurs in men and children as well. It occurs in families. I have family members with it. You know what? It's one of those illnesses that's really quirky to try to tack down. It took me several months before we actually got a diagnosis. They thought I had lupus. But you know what? A lot of other people have taken years to look for a diagnosis. It's not unusual for people to have that in an autoimmune disease or some other health condition. I've had mono and CMV. Both are different strains of the Epstein-Barr virus. So that could be part of what's behind my issues. But you know, a lot of people with fibromyalgia can have it because of trauma, either physical or emotional trauma, or from a medication. I just got a t-shirt, now I don't have it yet. I'm going to be on vacation this next week, and when I come back it should be here, and I'll show it to you. But it talks about being a warrior strong. And so for Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, I'd like you to think about somebody you know who's fighting with this illness. It's tough to get up every day. I remember I woke up one morning feeling hit by a truck, and I could barely get myself out of bed to call off sick. I had been teaching kids swim lessons, and I thought, well, okay, you know, I got something from the kids. But I called off again, and I called off again, and I set an appointment with my doctor, and there was no virus, no bug. I was permanently ill. But I do have to say that God has blessed me with the ability to do a lot of things people with fibromyalgia would never even attempt to do. So I really do feel blessed. I don't feel special above anybody else. But I've been able to teach swim lessons, water aerobics, high intensity intervals, kettlebell classes, and I have to do some modifications, but not a lot. But some are actually disabled, can't work. They're lucky to get out of bed every day. They're lucky to be able to get dressed every day. And one day they may feel great, and then the next day, for no apparent reason, they feel like garbage and have to call off or tell a friend, I'm sorry, I can't meet you for coffee today. So, when you think about people that you know with fibromyalgia, would you send them a gentle hug? A lot of them are hearing, well, it's not your fibromyalgia. If you'd stop claiming it for yourself, you would be healed. Claim God's healing. By His stripes, you are healed. And that's taking scripture out of context. That passage has to do with being healed of our sin sickness, not necessarily physical illness. Rather than shaming people for being ill, let's lift them up in prayer. Let's encourage them. Let's say, hey, you know, do you need some help? Maybe I can run the sweeper for you today, or do you need me to run to the grocery store and pick something up for you? There's so many ways that you can be that blessing to someone who's chronically ill. You know, it's hard when you feel like somebody's beating you up, like you're black and blue all over, or like you feel like your skin's burned or bruised, or even scraped. Many of the symptoms include fatigue, of course, pain, chronic pain all over the body, over 4 quadrants, for at least 6 months. There are tender points in the body, although they don't use it as a diagnostic criteria anymore. There are 18 of them, and I have 16. It can cause mental confusion. It can cause memory loss. Some people have IBS as a result, anxiety and depression. The serotonin levels are low, and many people with fibromyalgia don't get into the deep REM sleep. Many of us take medications. Thankfully, mine is a low-dose muscle relaxant, because it feels like if I don't take it for several days, it feels like the muscles are being pulled off of the bone. But for others, it's different. There's so many different ways it presents itself in people. There are also natural remedies and alternatives, but there is no cure for fibromyalgia at this point. And there is no blood test. All they can do is ask a bunch of questions and check your pain levels. So that's about it. Yeah, reach out to somebody. Say, God bless you. How can I help you today? How can I pray for you? Be an encouragement. Be a blessing. May God bless you.